Nothing describes a more radical type of love than a black person who loves to swim. No, seriously, I'll let you in on a secret. I can swim. But 70% of black children cannot swim. In the door of no return, the last thing one saw was the vast, expansive Atlantic Ocean. And they wonder why black people are afraid of the water. So when they ask me why I'm afraid of the water, I tell them I'm not afraid of the water. I'm afraid of not knowing how to swim. Almost 70% of African American children cannot swim, cannot enjoy the lapping of water on their damp faces, cannot rest from the summer sun and enjoy the steady stream of happiness. I am not afraid of the water. My ancestors drowned with their hopes and dreams, jumped from wooden planks, handcuffed and bound by a story written for them, and they did not want to know the next chapter. I am not afraid of the water. My ancestors drifted away at sea. Their hearts sank with their bodies like anchors to the bottom of the ocean. A last-ditch attempt to decide their fate, a safe haven and sanctuary, a home when taken away from their home. I am not afraid of the water. The water calls to me at night. Its shimmering blues and beckoning dark hues, it welcomes me with open arms. Tells me there are safer places, that the shore is my enemy, that this land is your land, this land is not my land. My home is a distant memory, and the shore is where the nightmare began. Within the waters is where I was told I could be safe. That death was not defeat, but rather a decision, and my ancestors were forced to make. Rather die than live amongst the shore, rather jump and forever fly amongst the stars above high tides, than keep their shackled feet on this unsteady ground. This ground is what I fear. I fear this land, that my only anchor to this land is bondage and bludgeon bags and blood-soaked concrete from boys left out in the sun too long. My bones will be buried with this land, but sometimes I understand the craving for something else, something everlasting, something that flows and rises and falls with every wave of anxiety, of fear I have. The ocean calls to me, tells me we're related, blood sisters. A family reunion every time I swim. I see my ancestors crave the sea, see that they saw what their enslavers couldn't, see that they rather drown their tears in something familiar than cry out in despair in plantations they did not know. That I am not afraid of the water. I'm afraid of going in and not wanting to come back. Of being embraced with clear waters of sincerity. The water fills my lungs with the same hope it did my ancestors. It lets me choke on sweet memories of better days and expel what may come tomorrow. Tomorrow, they would say, I will drown like my ancestors, but not in an ocean of despair. I was enveloped in a warm embrace as I joined them. When I say almost 70% of black children cannot swim, I say 70% of black children were lied to. Taught this land is where they are safe, that the seas are a danger, not that the seas were survival, that death was survival, that to not sink is to swim and to drown is to die alone. But I'm telling you, if I drowned, I would not be alone, that this land is dangerous. The streets I walk on haunt me. They follow me and question me if I should be here, if I belong on this land that they brought me to, tell me to go back after all the work that I've done. And if I could, I'd tell them I'd go back to the waters that saved my ancestors. Mercy. Tell them that they forced me upon land, would not let me be free, purposely taught me not to swim, segregated the pools, went across state lines when I tried to cross rivers to safety, that I am not afraid of the water. I'm afraid because I do not know how to not drown in it. So instead of drowning, I swallow my hopes and dreams with each gulp of water and suffocate under the knees of officers on this dry land because I am told this land is where I am safe, right? Thank you. Yeah.